Hey there, YouTube. Aaron here, and today I'd like to talk to you about cigarettes. Now, I've been a smoker for most of my entire adult life and a good portion of my teenage life. And I'm 28, and I've decided that I'm going to quit, and I want to take you guys with me. And hopefully, you can learn something that might help you quit as well. Now, in the past, I've tried patches, I've tried the little lozenges. I've tried vape pens. I've tried many different methods to quit cold turkey. I even tried like self hypnosis. Nothing worked. I just didn't have the willpower to do it on my own, and it's taken me this long to realize that the nicotine receptors and the nicotine neural pathways that my brain has made are stronger than me. You know, in a way, we're all kind of slaves to our neurochemistry. We're all slaves to the way our minds are wired. And, for the most part, that's okay. The way we think is the way we think, and most of us enjoy that and are comfortable with that. Where that becomes a problem is when our neural chemistry has been hijacked by a foreign chemical, in this case, nicotine. For me, nicotine. And I've just finally realized that I gotta quit. I have to. I'm done. I'm so done. And so, I decided to go to my doctor and ask for the Chantix prescription that I've read about, and I did try it in the past. About 4 years ago, I want to say. I tried taking the Chantix, and it actually kind of worked at first. I had some success. Was able to get to where I wasn't smoking after about a week of taking it. And then unfortunately, after a month, I couldn't afford to refill the prescription. Tried to stretch the pills out, ended up smoking about a month and a half later. Have insurance now, so my insurance was actually able to cover the cost of the Chantix this time around. And so I'm gonna be starting this, and I'm gonna be making every effort to stop. And I'm hoping that by documenting this process and this experience for me, that it will help me to be successful, and also, just as importantly to me, that it might help somebody else, because we I want others to know that they're not alone, okay? But there's a lot of smokers out there, and a lot of us are at different stages in our perception and thoughts on cigarettes. Some of us smoke and would like to quit, but we're not really ready. Some of us are ready to quit, but just don't know how. Some of us have tried to quit countless times, and nothing works, and we just feel like we're trapped. We're stuck with these damn cigarettes for the rest of our lives. And that's about the stage that I'm at. I feel trapped. I feel like I don't have a method that will be successful to help me quit smoking. And so that's why I've chosen to try with this Chantix again. Now the Chantix, quitting on Chantix isn't like quitting cold turkey, because of the way it works. I'm not a pharmacist or a neuroscientist or a psychiatrist or anything like that, but I have a kind of basic general understanding of how Chantix works, and the way I was explained to it by my doctor, and the way I've concluded from what I've looked into, is that it basically works by attaching to the parts of your brain that receive the nicotine. So when you smoke, it goes into your lungs, the nicotine in the smoke gets absorbed into the bloodstream, circulates up into the brain, and then the little nicotine particles in your bloodstream attach to certain receptors in your brain that have grown specifically to accept that nicotine. Now, what the Chantix does is it fills those receptors with not nicotine, with itself. It attaches to those nicotine receptors. So when you smoke, the nicotine doesn't have anything to attach to, and those receptors are already filled, if you will. And so it kind of saves people from some of the more difficult parts of the initial quitting experience, the depression and the aggression and the anxiety and the panic and the, oh my god, I have to have a cigarette or I'm gonna go crazy. it makes that a lot easier. And so, my experience is not going to be typical if you want to quit cold turkey. But, and this, I'm not endorsed by Chantix, and I'm not saying, I'm not usually one to give anything free advertising, but I've had the most success with it. And so I would suggest anybody that wants to seriously quit and that has tried everything else and has not been able to with the patches, the lozenges, any of the other, nicotine replacement therapies. If that stuff hasn't worked for you, consider trying to get the Chantix. And a lot of major insurance companies are now covering it as well. So, if you have insurance, if not, and you just have to find a way to go to a doctor and just get the prescription, they'll give you one of these. And this is the starter pack right here. And they'll give you that. I think that they give that to you kind of free of charge. It's your first 2 weeks of medicine. And then after that, it comes with a little packet that has a lot of coupons for like $75 to $100 off of the prescription. Now, I'm not sure the exact costs on a month's supply, but last time I had it filled, it was around like 100 to 150, somewhere in that ballpark. So I mean, I know that's a lot, but look at it this way. If you smoke a pack a day, 30 days out of the month, and you spend, say, $5, which is actually cheap in most places for cigarettes now, you're going to be spending about $150 to $200 on your cigarettes in a month. And they're going to kill you. So, instead of that, spend that money on this. It won't kill you. Now, there are side effects to it. Maybe go through some of them here and tell you what some of these side effects are. Some of the common side effects can include, odd dreams. I've talked to a lot of people that said that they had that it caused like depressive feelings for them, that it put them into depression. Some people even reported that it caused them to become suicidal, and that's terrible. I know that's not a universal experience with the Chantix. I don't even know why it would. That seems like a weird thing, but for a medicine to cause. So obviously you need to talk with that kind of stuff with your doctor, and make sure that it's right for you. But barring all those side effects, it can cause a little bit of upset stomach and stuff like that. It says nausea. I've talked to people who say they just take it with food. Like you would like an ibuprofen or something that doesn't sit well in the stomach. Full glass of water or something, just to get a lot of fluids in when you take it. Just kind of ease the burden of the medicine on you. But anyways, so I'm putting out a challenge. Anybody else that would like to quit with me, leave it in the comments. Every day I'm going to make a video, every day. And I'm going to talk about why I'm quitting, talk about why I smoked, talk about what I hated about it, what I loved about it. All the things that have to do with me being a smoker. That became a very big part of my identity. And so separating that is a big priority. And so this series of documentations of my process of quitting smoking, I would like to invite you all to join me on it and to open a discussion about it, in the comments. And I will, like I said, every day I'll be updating, I'll be touching in, letting people know what it's like, what I'm feeling, what I'm experiencing, and all that good stuff that can come from this kind of open revelation of intent. And hopefully I can make an impact on somebody else's life too. Maybe somebody can get some kind of just enough oomph to go and make the first step for them to quit as well, and that would be absolutely wonderful. Because everybody deserves to be healthy, everybody deserves to be happy, and nobody deserves to be chained by a chemical addiction. And so with that as my closing words, I will see you all later, YouTube.